hypothetically transgender
Lack
status.
of social acceptance, which is definitely cultivated by comments like yours that deny the existence of trans people.
What makes you think you know what you're talking about? Like, I cannot understand for a moment.
Lack of social acceptance is a driving force behind trans youth committing suicide. And I'm asking you to explain why you feel it's appropriate to deny the existence of transgender people.
I can't possibly imagine anybody sequencing a collection of questions more cliched, formulaic, and accusatory than the ones that you just managed. You don't have any idea about what you're talking about, and your confidence far exceeds your competence.
I'm friends with many transgender individuals.
So this student walks up to Jordan Peterson, thinking she's about to deliver some kind of moral checkmate. She opens up with loaded accusation, twists his past comments completely out of context, and comes in swinging as if she is the moral authority in the room. But here is the truth. She is not asking, she's accusing. And that's where everything starts to fall apart.
Hello.
Hello. My question is in regards to a comment you made on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple years prior, where you called being transgender a sociological contagion and compared trans people to Satanists. To Satanists.
No, I don't think so.
You called being transgender equivalent to participating in satanic rituals in the 1980s. This is a quote.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
You called being transgender and you compared that to satanic rituals that occurred in daycares in the 1980s.
I see. So
Yeah.
that's very different than the proposition that you laid before me.
Right.
No,
You do have a history of
seriously different.
intense anti-trans comments, so I wanted to question you on that. In the United States, trans youth have the highest rates of suicide among any demographic. How do you respond to those who believe your comments have cultivated a climate of hostility against trans people and contributed to this alarming rise in suicide rates?
Okay, so first of all, I respond to them like I responded to you by pointing out the falsehood of their question. The question you asked me had absolutely nothing to do with what I said, as you well knew. And the moralizing
I just want to emphasize,
And the moralizing element of your accusation that constituted the last half of your question is also equally ill formulated. You have no idea what you're talking about. The idea that my comments had anything to do with the hypothetical rise in suicide rates among transgender people is preposterous. And there's also no evidence whatsoever that those suicide rates that you're describing are a consequence of any attitude whatsoever towards their hypothetically transgender status.
Lack of social acceptance, which is definitely cultivated by comments like yours that deny the existence of trans people.
What makes you think you know what you're talking about?
She's twisting the word.
Like, I cannot understand for a moment.
Lack of social acceptance is a driving force behind trans youth committing suicide. And I'm asking you to explain why you feel it's appropriate to deny the existence of transgender people.
I can't possibly imagine anybody sequencing a collection of questions more cliched, formulaic, and accusatory than the ones that you just managed. You don't have any idea about what you're talking about, and your confidence far exceeds your competence.
I'm friends with many transgender individuals.
I also don't know who educated you at this fine university, but they're doing a damn dismal job.
I would like to, Dr. Peterson, I think one of the things at Oxford Union we welcome all kind of questions, and I think I would appreciate if the substance of what she's asking.
There was no substance. You can't answer the substance of a question when you're asked a question with no substance. So,
denying the existence of an entire community and comparing transgender people to participating in a sociological contagion.
They are participating in a sociological contagion, obviously. Why in the world do you think there's been an explosion in prevalence with regards to transgender identification among juvenile women. Why do you think that? Do you know that that's the pattern of social contagions for the last 350 years? Do you know it's always juvenile women? It was eating disorders, it was cutting, it was the eating disorders were anorexia and bulimia. In Freud's time, it was hysteria.
So I take a lot of issue with you pretending to care about women as an avenue for perpetuating hate towards minority groups. You did this earlier in your conversation with the president, and you're doing it once more. But
you really are something.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
thank you, Arushi. We'll go to the next question. Anyone
She's
else?
a manipulator.
A lot of
She's a
people. Would
manipulator.
you like to choose someone this time?
That wasn't a question. That was a carefully rehearsed attack, delivered with all the confidence of someone who never expected to be challenged. She came in ready to label, ready to vandalize, but not ready to listen. And when Peterson did not respond the way she expected, calmly dismantling her false assumption, you could see it on her face. She wasn't prepared for facts. She was prepared for outrage. And when that did not land, she looked lost. What makes this so frustrating is how common this tactics has become. Instead of engaging ideas, people now lead with accusation, emotion, and ideology, then act shocked when someone pushes back. This isn't discourse, this is theater. And it's doing damage to our ability to have honest, meaningful conversation. So here's the real question. Are these people showing up for answers or for applause? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're tired of this kind of stage outrage, smash the like button, because the only way to fight this nonsense is to call it out every time we see it.